good buddies, what's up, and welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Review. I'm your good buddy, Roger.
You are all over the place with that.
Oh, yeah.
And I am your good buddy, Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it,
Are
dude.
you feeling it, Mr. Buddy?
I'm on a rocket ship right now. I'm on the high ride to the outside.
God damn, that's a good line.
Yeah.
Well, that's very appropriate because we are your good buddies and we're going to be reviewing a pretty great little show from last season called Astra, Lost in Space.
Yes.
This one has a subtitle.
Yeah. It has a lot of layers to it.
It's a pretty interesting show.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into all that, of course, we're going to break it on down. We're going to tell you about it. We're going to tell our good buddies. We good buddies are going to tell you, our good buddies, what we think about this show and whether we think you should check it out with a review of recommendation. And we're going to settle on a final score, Roger. And if it was straight up trash.
It'd be an anime, maybe not.
Well, if it was like, it wasn't great.
Anime.
It was fine. It was average.
That's an anime, maybe.
It's actually pretty sweet, though. Pretty decent.
My guy, that's Animos, definitely.
But if it was so good, Roger, if it was amazing,
It would be Animazing, my guy.
it would indeed be. I kind of stole the thunder there with the if it was amazing, but hey, we got there.
Hey, you always do, and it's okay.
My whole life is thunder. All right, but the way we're gonna get there is we're gonna give it a score, possible 10 stars, 5 categories, 2 stars each, total of 10. That's how math works. And Roger, those categories are number 1,
The story and setting,
number 2,
the characters and development,
number 3,
the art and animation,
and number 4, Roger.
the soundtrack,
And finally, Roger, that good buddy's wiggle room, that
Je ne sais quoi.
Roger, what does that mean?
I do not know what.
I don't know what, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get on into it right now, and let me hit you with a little quick pitch.
Yeah, I like the quick pitch,
Let me
man.
tell you, baby. So this is a pretty interesting show. It takes some cues from some classic sci-fi stuff, shades of Lost in Space in there. Obviously, it's called Astra, Lost in Space, but it mix in some pretty sweet shonen sensibilities. Astra is basically a story of a group of young people who are fighting to survive after being stranded light years from home, and on the way, jumping from planet to planet, they discover and uncover a pretty devious conspiracy.
Yep.
Ooh, a little intrigue for you.
Yeah, and not only is there a conspiracy, but one among the ship is seemingly trying to sabotage.
Bum bum bwana.
Yeah.
Oh, who saw that coming? But that's our quick pitch. Let's get on the store and set and just hit it right off the bat, baby. We got these 9 kids.
Yep.
I'm just gonna read what I wrote because I like this one. 9 students from Caird High meet up and travel to a planet with a stupid name. It's called McPaw. I'm never gonna be okay with that. Big M, little C, big P, little A. McPaw. Mac Pizzies.
McPizzle.
The what? McPizzies. McPizzle.
Young McPizzy.
McPizzle, mind it? No, that's terrible. Young Pizzy. All right. But yeah, weird planet with a stupid name for Planet Camp is what the first episode's called, Planet Camp.
We're going to Planet Camp.
Sure. It's basically like a training thing to make sure they can handle being alone in space. It's Planet Camp. We're going to go camping on a planet.
Tell me it doesn't sound kind of fun.
Isn't
though.
that what all camping is? Aren't you camping on a planet?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean...
And not even just a...
What? I just thought, like, we have the nerve to call it space camp when you go and learn about rockets and shit. These guys are just going to a whole nother planet. Planet camp. Fuck. But yeah, they get there, and before they can even get their bearings on McPaw, they are swallowed by this weird mini black hole, which promptly just spits them out into straight up open space. And I gotta tell you, that scene in particular is pretty terrifying. We'll get to that later. Serendipitously, though, and this is basically just spoiling the first episode because baby, we gonna. Serendipitously, they appear floating not so far from an abandoned spaceship, and after some tense action, they manage to board it, which they call it Astra, after a plaque which is on the bridge that says per aspera ad Astra, which roughly is like through adversity to the stars, something like that.
All drawn to that name for some reason.
Yeah, it's really good. From here, it's a fight to survive as they must jump from planet to planet more than 5,000 light years to get back home. And of course, we get a little cliffhanger in that first episode. There's a traitor on board. The radio equipment appears to have been cut, and very recently. Ooh, scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, man.
It is. It does the mystery well too.
Yeah,
It is possible to solve this mystery, I think.
Yeah, you can definitely get some clues and figure out what's going on. It definitely didn't feel like the Kakegurui where it was like kind of bullshitting me with the mystery. Like, okay, like, come on. But like, it gives you enough clues that you could probably put it together, what's going on. And yeah, it's definitely a fascinating program that we're gonna get a little bit more into. You got anything else to say about, like, let's talk about the settings, because we jump from planet to planet, and holy moly.
Yeah, the story can almost take a back seat to the setting in this category. Because,
yeah, man.
Because these planets are awesome.
They are. It reminded me a lot of Made in Abyss, where they're going like layer by layer, and there's all these different ecosystems.
All these planets have their own unique ecosystems, like you said. There's all sorts of fauna and creatures, and some of it has, there's water, the atmosphere is a little different, and all of them are beautifully rendered. Yeah, they feel really cool. They all feel unique, and I really, really appreciated it about the show. It made you excited to see what the next planet was going to be like. Yeah, what fun things are there, what dangers are going to be there, because they're going to run into some dangers on these planets because no humans are living there.
Yeah, it's a lot of really fascinating stuff with, like, animals that could attack you, plants that want to kill you.
Yeah, wait till you see these gruppies. They're adorable.
Holy moly. Yeah, they were fun. Aw, what a great show. But yeah, man, it's a lot of interesting stuff. And also, we do spend a decent amount of time just on the ship, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, and the ship is really well done, too. It feels spacious. It is drawn out really well. Everything looks like you're inside of this really cool ship.
It's a lot of fun, yeah. A lot of interesting scenery and whatnot, both just floating through space and on these planets, obviously. And it's a really, it's a good reason they have to stop at these planets, because it could just be as simple as, hey, we're going to go to planets. But no, it's like, we're 5,000 light years away. This is going to take a while to get back, and we don't have enough food. We have to stop and find food and water everywhere. So they have to stockpile before they can get going.
Right.
And also the way they do that is with this goofy little creation, this little thing that you just poke into whatever they're thinking about eating, and it just either says no or yummy, yummy.
Yeah,
it's freaking adorable. Oh, here's one for you. I watched the whole thing as it was airing subtitled. Did you watch any of the dub?
I watched both ways, but yeah, mostly dub.
Mostly dub. Okay. I rather enjoyed the sub. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I caught a little bit of the subtitles, and one or two of the voices kind of struck me wrong, but I feel like if I was watching,
you caught one or two of the subtitles?
Well, no, the voices. Sorry, on the dub. Yeah, gotcha. I watched one or two on the dub that kind of hit me wrong with the voices, but I think that's only because I had the subtitle already. So, like, if I had been watching the dub the whole time, would that have bothered me? Did it bother you at all?
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't the best dub I've ever heard. But it was okay. I think I did prefer the sub to it a little bit, but I did go ahead and do the dub because I figured you'd already watched the sub too. So if we can get that dynamic in there of watching both, I like to do that. So
yeah, man.
Overall, I think if you enjoy watching dub anime, you're not gonna have any problem with this one. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
Excellent. So it's talking about that ship and how it's, we spend a lot of time on there. There's an awful lot of characters on that ship. Let's go ahead and hit characters in development, big boy.
Oh, yeah.
There's a decent amount. This is like 9 kids, high school students on this thing. I wrote down under characters in development. There's a lot of them.
Yep.
You want to just run down the list, big boy?
There are a lot of them. Yeah, we'll try to give each one of them sort of a brief. Just we'll take this at a brisk pace.
Sure.
Kanata Hoshijima.
Kanata is like kind of our main dude.
Yeah, he's our main guy. He's very sporty, very athletic.
Yes, very action oriented. Yeah, I would say.
He comes from a family of his father is a world renowned retired athlete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this dude can run, he can jump, he can fight. He loves to just jump in there. He does rush in when there is danger. He's gonna run in and make sure it gets taken care of.
Yep, bit of a tragic backstory too. So he's very driven to protect his friend.
Yes. You get a little bit of his backstory pretty early on.
Yeah, Kanata's a pretty good guy. Next, we of course have Aries Spring,
who is pretty much the main girl. She's like the first character you really get anything of. And boy, oh boy, if you couldn't tell right away that she's the main character with the pink hair and the 2 colored eyes, holy moly, dude.
Yeah. She's pretty cute though. She's a whole lot of fun. She's a bit ditzy. I hope that's not too derogatory or anything.
No, I don't think so. She is. She's certainly bubbly.
Yeah, she's bubbly. She mixes up words all the time.
Yeah,
says them wrong. It's pretty funny.
There's a few misunderstandings because she just didn't understand what someone was saying, and like they didn't understand what she was trying to say. It's really fun. She's a lot of fun.
She is also very hungry.
Yeah, she loves to eat.
And her biggest goal on this ship and on this trip, she's a bit of a mama's girl. But her biggest goal on the ship is to make everybody be her friend.
Yes,
she wants to be friends with everybody.
And that's a thing that like these
she's
kids,
a really loving character.
Despite coming from the same school, most of them like don't actually know each other beforehand. So you're seeing a lot of them interacting, get to know each other, and there's a lot of really interesting tension and development that happens there. It's pretty decently done.
Yep, I would agree. Up next, we got Zach Walker.
Love me a Zach.
Ooh, I love how easy that name is to say.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to struggle with the next one.
Zach's a lot of fun because he's like the much more serious, much more like mission oriented, I would say. And
he's the techie.
Yeah, he's very techie, but he's also like very like, you know, process. Like he's very like, what do we have to do to survive?
He's the Ida of the group.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of has to lay down the law every now and then, but mostly he's just like very I love this dynamic because we're talking about a space show and we got like Kanata is a straight up Captain Kirk who wants to run in and fuck it up, and our boy Zach here is basically your Picard. He's sitting back and like strategizing most of the time. We got them both in one, kids. Yeah, it's a good show.
Zach is going to be piloting the ship most of the time too.
Yeah, he does a lot of the. He's very mission oriented. Like he's tracking out. He's the one who figures like here's the path we would have to take if we do manage to get back home. These are the planets we got to hit.
Yep,
he's handling it, man. Really cool character. I like him a lot. He has some amazing scenes with one of the characters we're about to hit.
Probably who we're talking about next, who is Kiteri Raffaelli.
Gotta love her.
Yeah. They actually know each other, Zach and Kiteri.
Yeah, they knew each other when they were kids, I believe.
But she is she's a rich heiress. Her mother is like a
she's a rich girl.
She's a rich girl.
Too far.
It's a bitch girl.
No. Yes.
She is a little rude.
She is a little.
At least starts off a little rude.
She's a little rude. She also like quickly becomes one of the more important characters on the show because
she has a medical background.
She's the nurse. She has to be. She like you ain't gonna get through this shit without someone taking care of y'all's dumbasses. Yeah. But yeah, she's a little abrasive at first, but she ends up being like one of my favorite characters pretty quickly.
Yeah, I really liked her too.
Oh, she's fun.
And she is also on board with her younger sister or adopted sister, Funisha Raffaelli.
Yes, Funi's a lot of fun. Funi's a whole lot of fun.
Okay, and Funi also has a buddy.
We gotta talk about your boy.
Bigo.
Fucking Bigo buddy.
Fucking Bigo buddy, man.
He's a little puppet dog she has that's from like some show.
Yeah, he's an animatronic dog that kind of like speaks.
Yeah, like you move his mouth and he talks like whether she's making it talk or what. It's fun. It's a lot of fun is what it is. And he just jumps in and has little quirks every now and then. And apparently a thing from his show is he says, yeah. And like that's a thing they just adopt as part of their, just as a crew.
Yeah, and I like him because my dog's name is Beagle Buddy.
What's his full name?
Beagle Buddy Baloney Jr.
Jesus. Good old Beagle Buddy. Yeah. Love that dog. He likes when you scratch his butt.
He does. He likes the butt scratchies and the brain patties.
Sweet baby. I love that dog. Every time I come in this house, he's just immediately jumping on me.
Yep, he's always excited. And the biggest thing about Funicia is that she really wants to bond with Kiteri.
Yeah, she wants to get closer to her sister. Yeah. Because again, adopted sister. They, obviously they've been around for a while, but she's so much younger and like they don't spend a lot of time together. So she's trying to just like adjust to this. It's really again a lot of interesting dynamics you get in this show.
Yep. Our next character is also a really good one. Had a really cool shock twist, I guess you should say, with the character that'll be after this, and it is Luca Esposito.
Luca's great.
Yeah,
love me a Luca.
Is really great. He's a sweet character.
Yeah, super fun. Again, we're gonna try not to spoil anything here, but you get some pretty interesting development with this character. as spurred on by another character we're going to talk about. But Luca's very, very cool. Like always super calm. Almost like to a fault, despite what's going on, despite like the admittedly horrible situations they find themselves in.
He's super cool about everything, and it might have something to do with like his upbringing or whatever. He's kind of distant from his father, who is a senator. If you remember back to Carol and Tuesday, same kind of situation there with Carol, or sorry, Tuesday, not Carol.
The other one.
The other one in the name. but Luca is a really fun character. These characters are all really fun.
And now, let's talk about the Goth Kid.
The Sasuke.
I mean, certainly the darker of the group.
Olgar Zweig.
Holy moly, what a name.
Yep.
Olgar.
He comes from a family in the school.
Yeah, kid's got
his brother is a reporter.
Yes. Well, was. Yes, you find out during pretty early in Olgar's development that his brother died, possibly was killed. We don't. Not sure what's going on there, but we don't want to spoil anything.
Could all revolve around this potential conspiracy we mentioned a little earlier.
There's a lot of wild stuff in here that we'll talk about a little more. We
can't say too much about Olgar, but there is a really great episode with Luca and Olgar together where you get some really cool
and Olgar, the one other thing we can say is that Olgar has the dark streak. Very, very. I hesitate. I don't want to say school shooter. But, like, dude is very dark and is the only one who knows how to use a gun.
Yeah, may or may not have a gun.
Holy shit. Dark streak! Holy moly. This fucking character.
Another good character among the cast of characters is Yoon Ha Lu.
Okay, so... fun character. I like this character.
Yeah, she's very shy. She's very quiet.
Very shy, very quiet. Here's my one kind of gripe I have with this one is that you get a lot of development with these characters. You really do. You really do get a decent idea of who these people are, what they've been through, how they got where they are, and what their goals are in life. Yoonhwa is kind of a bummer because for me, she's kind of like super shy, just in the background for most of the beginning. She gets a full-on episode where you get her backstory, and it's very interesting. You get a lot from her, and then she kind of fades right back into the background, baby.
I feel like she does take to the background, but a good bit compared to other characters.
Yeah.
Granted, I mean, she has been kind of suppressed for most of her life.
Yes, she definitely
apologizes for everything.
Yeah, you find out she's been through some fairly abusive stuff, which is a real bummer, obviously. But like, it kind of bummed me out that, like, you know, we have an episode where you basically get more about her, and she starts to kind of blossom, and then just kind of wilts right back down.
Well, yeah, and a lot of the show too is these characters figuring themselves out and coming out of their shell.
Very much.
And I mean, Yoon she's been pretty much told that she's garbage her whole life. Everything she does. And I would imagine, you know, like, if you want to take it, I don't know that they intended it this way, but if you really wanted to make it convincing to yourself, I could argue that, you know, that level of abuse is going to take more than just a little bit of time for you to really become, you know, a more bubbly like Kanata or something like that.
Yeah, and I certainly wouldn't expect that. It just kind of,
But I definitely get what you say.
She definitely fades back. She goes like wallflower to beautiful in your face vase and amazing, and then just right on back.
Yep.
Yeah. And can we talk about my boy?
Yeah. You want to throw his name out there, because I know I'm just gonna butcher that. I don't know if it's LaCroix or LaCroix. I never know.
Charles LaCroix.
Charles LaCroix.
Okay. LaCroix. You say it how you want, baby. It's my boy, my beautiful boy.
My guy is a cook.
My boy is too fancy. He's so nice. He will cook you up all the good foods.
Boy, does he make some good-looking food too?
It looked really tasty. I was hungry.
Out of a whole lot of these random things they pick up off these planets.
I was pretty hungry watching that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, my dude is like too cool. Again, one that we don't want to say too much about. You get some good backstory on him. But yeah, comes from some relatively fancy stuff.
Yep.
You find out in his little backstory there. Really fun dude.
Yeah, he's the sparkly boy. He's the super cute one.
Yeah, dude. He's the what's the naval laser guy from MHA? He's basically him.
His name's something with an I. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Aoyama, something like that.
Aoyama.
Aoyama, yeah, there you go.
Aoyama, that's it. But yeah, he's
Aoyama, maybe.
Aoyama, something like that.
I don't know.
I think yeah. And we spent too much time on it already. But point is, Charles Lacroix. It's just too cool. And yes, his name is spelt like the water, which is pronounced LaCroix.
Okay.
And I will settle that right now. It's LaCroix.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, his name is spelled the same, and he's fucking amazing, and I love him.
I love it. Yeah, he's a good character. He's a lot of fun. And let's go on to one final like little thing about the characters.
Okay.
And it's just how well that the show does in like bonding them and kind of bonding you to them.
Yeah, I mean, about halfway through the series, I'm like, these are my friends.
Yeah.
And like, it really works because you
really pull for them in this journey. Like, and it does it really well.
They kind of nail it. You really do care about these people pretty quickly. I really enjoyed it. I think it was quite well done, the development stuff.
And everybody gets their backstory episode, and all of them are good.
Yeah, quite
all
well
of them
done.
are good.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
All right, dude. Let's hit a couple of these other things. Let's go on to the art and animation, dude.
Let's talk about it, man.
It's very good.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's I would say it's above average animation. I would say that it doesn't blow my mind, but it was very pleasant to look at.
Absolutely.
And it does this really cool thing where it goes from like super widescreen into 16:9, which is just regular widescreen.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm talking about? Where it has like the real cinematic scenes where they're talking.
It gives you like the extra bars at the top and bottom to like really stretch it out. Yeah, man, it's pretty interesting. I would say like you said, it's not breaking any molds, but it's certainly not hard to watch.
It had a budget and they used it.
Yeah, it's quite well done. Parts that really hit it for me where there's a few bits where, particularly in episode 1, where they're just suddenly floating in space and you have this like really, and this goes into the soundtrack as well, which so I won't touch on it too much, but like there's these bits where you have a character and you're just seeing them and seeing through them just floating in space and the absolute terror that entails.
Yeah.
And they really nail it with the video with the audio and visual of it. It's quite well done.
I would definitely agree. And then once again, just to touch back up on the planets and the life forms and stuff.
Oh yeah,
all really unique designs. It's all very fun stuff, and I quite enjoyed it. It's not. I wouldn't say that it's perfect, but I would say that it is quite enjoyable. Let's go on to that soundtrack, my guy. Do you want to talk about it first? Or do you want me to?
I'll let you take it, man.
Okay. So I really like the opening song. I thought the opening song kind of bumps. And after that, other than the first episode where you really mentioned like the depth of how deep of shit they're in.
Yeah, the
way they put it out.
The bit in particular I'm talking about is you're seeing someone floating in space and then like briefly looking through their helmet and everything, and it's just complete silence except for this.
Yeah, it's breathing.
'Cause like.
And then there's a little bit of radio and stuff in there. There's like static coding the frequencies and stuff.
It works.
It's really good. They do really good there.
Legitimately terrifying.
The rest of the series, like the interstitial stuff, and I can't tell you much about it because I don't remember it.
Yeah, I watched this, and this is,
I finished this last night.
Yeah, you watched it very recently. I watched it a few weeks ago. Like I was watching it as it was airing, and I haven't looked at it since really, except for like a little bit earlier to kind of refresh myself on a couple of things. I had to look up the opening and ending. I didn't remember them at all.
Yeah,
which kind of bummed me out. And like I feel like it's easy to say as much as we watch, that's not so crazy, but I very vividly remember several other like songs and stuff from other shows, and not even stuff that was necessarily
this ain't 99.9 baby.
It is not. No. I will say that you do get some pretty interesting stuff with a character I guess I'm gonna keep touching on, Yeonhwa. She's a singer, and there are a couple scenes where you see her singing, and it is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Her singing voice is magnificent.
It's just my biggest problem was like the rest of it is just so forgettable, and then the last song, I mean, to be fair, the opening and the intro or the outro, they don't play every single episode. They're choosy about when they play them.
Sure.
So that might add to it. I might be a little hard on it for that, and maybe unintentionally so. But the outro, I didn't much care for it. It was very normal.
Sure.
But overall, it did have some good highlights. but I think this could have been the weakest part of the show for me.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that.
Anything else you want to touch on?
Not really.
Okay, man. Well, let's get into that je ne sais quoi.
Oh, let's talk about it. You take it.
Okay. Overall, the show feels like a really cool adventure. It feels like there is a lot of distance covered. There are a whole lot of characters here, and they do a really good job of making you bond with these characters.
Yeah.
And really feel for them, especially when these resolutions start coming across. And I might talk on the resolutions a little more in the ramble.
Yeah, we're gonna get spoilery in the ramble.
But I think as a whole, the show does a really good job of building everything up for you.
Yeah.
I think it's quite pleasant to look at. The characters are really so good. The planets are really good. And the mystery, and like that, it's like a whole nother added level of this mystery and this conspiracy going on in the background to something that like sometimes it's totally like you're totally far away from it with them having the little adventure on the planet,
right?
Or they're on a beach planet or something like that. And it's kind of easy to forget that there's a conspiracy there, but before too long, it's going to hit you in the face again.
Yeah,
and it is really cool.
And that's a thing that like it would be very easy. Like a couple of times they risk, I think, stretching themselves a little thin.
Yeah.
Between the struggle to get back home and the the stories to develop these characters and keeping up this conspiracy and making it interesting. I feel like it works the whole time, though.
Yeah,
I don't feel like they...
in the last 2 episodes, you get a large info dump on you.
Holy moly, yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole lot there, but I felt like those 2 episodes were just enough time to really pull through. To be fair, too, that last episode is like 45 minutes long.
Yeah, they do give you like a straight, like what would basically be an hour episode for one and the first one and the last one.
Yep.
Which is, thank you for giving us the extra time. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I would say it's pretty great overall. Decent action. The worlds are varied and often vicious, and the intrigue is pretty palpable, man. There's a lot of interesting stuff with this like conspiracy and the wildness that's going on behind the scenes that they're just discovering. I will say we're not going to talk about any of that intrigue or like the resolution of it here. I will say that at least one part of the resolution seemed a little outrageous to me, but like the whole we're also talking about a show which is like this is taking place in like the year 2060 something, and like their space travel is a thing that exists and blah blah blah, and it's like it's gonna be a little bit wild anyway. There's a couple parts that I was like, okay, fine. Like, if it's nothing that you don't have to suspend your disbelief so much, but there are some bits that are like, it's pretty wild.
And I think they do try their best to explain everything that they can.
I think
there were some things that I was worried that they weren't going to get to and explain, but they did most of them. So overall, I felt satisfied with it.
Yeah, I would say so. And it was particularly satisfying because this isn't one where you got to wait for a season 2, baby. They give you the whole story.
Yeah.
They give you a very good arc, and it works like pretty much all the way through, I think.
Yeah, and I feel like this was kind of slept on last season. Like I didn't see many people talking about it. Yeah. But yeah, it's good. I like it. Let's tell everybody how much we do like it with them scores, dude.
So let's start with number 1, that story and setting. What'd you think, Roger?
I gave it 2 points.
Yeah, 1.5.
Okay.
How about the character and development?
I gave it 1.5.
I gave it a 2, so we swapped on that one.
Okay.
How about the art and animation?
I gave it a 1.5.
Same, 1.5. Music and sound?
I gave it a 1.
Same, gave it a 1. We're pretty neck and neck right now, man. How about that je ne sais quoi?
I gave it a 1.5.
1.5. I think we tied.
Yeah, we did. So does that take it up to a 7.5?
That's I believe so. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. Yes, we got a 7.5 for both of us.
So yeah, an anime that hasn't happened in a while, dude.
Yeah, it's not too often that we agree. Now, granted, like 2 of our scores were like kind of flip flop, but for the most part, we were right on it.
And,
nice.
Well, I think that we're always kind of close to agreeing, but it's to get like almost the same thing down the board.
Sure.
But cool. So it's an Animos, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that you check this out.
It's really worth it, man.
If you got time, you're looking for something that's not too long, but might be a little longer than your average 13. It is 13 episodes, but like we said, you get that extended first and final episode. And it's a really, really fun adventure.
Yeah, man.
It's a fun story, and space is just freaking fun.
Yeah, if you're looking for a good like space time like sci-fi kind of thing that, despite being like, you know, it's very science fiction obviously, but it's fairly grounded.
Yeah.
Like maybe you don't want the magic bullets from what is it? Outlaw Star. Like you want a good space opera without all the mysticism.
Yeah.
This one is fairly believable for the most part, and it works pretty well. I really enjoyed it.
Caster shells, that's the name of those bullets.
Yeah, they're super fun though.
Yeah, they are.
I gotta rewatch that. But yeah, man, it's a good show.
Yeah, it is
a good show.
I quite like it, and I would implore the good buddies to go check it out.
Check it out, man.
It's a good space adventure, and if you like those shows where it's like they'll do like discovery shows, like what other life on other planets might be like, you get some of that in here.
Like we said, the ecosystems are varied and super fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun.
But that about does it for this one. So let's we're gonna hit the mini plugs and then get on into the ramble. I think.
Yeah, man. You want to tell them what we're doing next week?
Next week might be a little bit of a struggle.
It might be a little bit of a struggle, but it feels weird not to do one this season. We got to do something. We are doing winter.
What we think you should be watching.
This is fall right now. So it's fall season. Yeah, it just got cold here, so it feels like it's winter. It's fall 2019.
Sure.
And winter will be 2020. Mm-hmm. That's how that works.
That's how that works.
That's how math works.
You're the worst. But yeah, man, we're gonna be talking about some stuff that we think you should check out this season.
Might not be a whole lot, but we're gonna go for at least 4.
We're going through some stuff. We're gonna try to get y'all at least a few. I'll be honest. I've seen a lot of people saying there's not a lot this season. I've seen a few people saying no, there is a lot this season. I don't know who's right, but from what I've seen so far, I'm kind of leaning to the not that much.
I've been let down here and there with the things that I've really won. The only one that I guess of course MHA don't let down. And then I
still haven't watched the newest episode. I gotta get on that.
We never learn. I know you weren't enjoying it very much, but it's more the same, and I've been enjoying it. So
sure.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna say that one's gonna make the list, but
you just made the list.
But yeah, man, hit them plugs. Let's roll us on out of here.
So this is mostly for YouTube purposes, but thank you so much for watching. If you want to tell us what you thought about Astra Lost in Space or any other shows we might have mentioned, or if you want to tell us something you think we should check out, by all means, give us some recommendations for our upcoming like what you should check out thing, because I ain't got too much to go on right now.
Yeah, if y'all know some stuff that you think that we should check out for the...
If you got one that's like the super hotness, by all means, hit us up. There's a number of ways to do that. Obviously, on the YouTube, you just leave us a comment. We'll have the full plugs later at the end of the ramble. If you're listening to the podcast, you're just going to go straight into it. But by all means, leave us a comment. We appreciate you. Go ahead and smash that like button. Appreciate you. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already.
Appreciate you.
And by all means, click that little bell so we can ding your dong and send you some notifications. We really appreciate everybody out there supporting us and helping us out. Appreciate you. Baby. Appreciate you. And you know what? I appreciate you,
Did you
my
get
good
those
buddy,
breaks
Roger.
of Pet Boys? Appreciate you.
Jesus Christ. You're the worst. Let's give a shout out to our good buddy Haas for our closing theme on the YouTube portion.
Yeah,
That's
the buddy's good.
The buddy's good is what it's called. Our good buddy Haas, you can find him at Thomas Tastes Better on Instagram. One more time, that's Thomas Tastes Better, all one word.
Good
On
dude.
Instagram, yeah. Super good dude, super good track. A lot of fun. And do we have anything else to say before we hit the ramble?
That's it, dude. We can head on in. Thank you, good buddies, so much for watching the review portion of this.
We love you and appreciate you.
And appreciate you.